began in the 15th century just because of one single thing: spices. Spices were deemed as something important, especially among Europeans. Back then, when refrigerators were not yet around, spices were used in order to preserve food and meat. The only problem was that these spices were only found in Asia. So, the Europeans had to travel across the globe just to get these spices. As these European countries continued to explore Asia, tensions also began to rise among between countries, especially among Spain and Portugal. In order to settle this warring tension between these two neighboring countries, Pope Alexander VI decided that the globe be divided into two parts. The eastern portion was given to Portugal, while the western portion was assigned to Spain. And on June 7, 1494, the Treaty of Tordesillas was signed, ratifying the declaration made by Pope Alexander VI. This eventually led to the continuous exploration of Asia by different European countries like England, France, and the Netherlands.
One of the major European colonizers in Southeast Asia is Portugal.
The Portuguese Empire, also known as the Portuguese Overseas, was known as the first global empire in history and the first modern colonial European power starting in 1450.
The Portuguese were the first European to dominate trade in Southeast Asia, and the first to set up trading posts in military-occupied coasts. They defeated Muslim naval forces in 1509 and seized Malacca in 1511 until the Dutch captured it in 1641.
It all began with the Portuguese explorer named Vasco da Gama, who was the first one to successfully sail from Europe around Africa to Southeast Asia. He had a successful voyage to find a sea route in India with its rich spice trade. Vasco da Gama is the embodiment of Portugal's long history on taking on the sea. Portuguese navigators, explorers, scientists, and conquistadors sailed and battled their way through many places, including Asia.
They were expanding their kingdom in search for trade, settlement, wealth, slave, spreading of Christianity, and to uncover the secrets of the earlier stages of Christendom.
In the 14th and 1500s, their navigational skill made Portugal the first global sea power and that made them very rich. The main voyages provided routes that Portuguese navigators undertook on their early voyages of exploration.
King Manuel prohibited the selling of maps showing Portuguese navigation because for them, maps were knowledge and knowledge is power.
Portugal made many trading posts and colonies throughout the world. Most notably was Goa, a small colony in India, as well as Sri Lanka. They conquered Malacca, which was very important as it gave domination over the spice trade.
Spices such as cinnamon, pepper, ginger, or cloves were life treasures in Europeans. All these were produced in India.
Portugal held dominion over the sea lanes of the Indian and South Atlantic Oceans, making its economic, military, and political power the rival of any in Europe. Portuguese domain was present in several parts of Asia, including India, Sri Lanka, Malaysia, Indonesia, Japan, China, and several others.
It was the longest lived of the modern European colonial empires, spanning nearly 6 centuries. Its end in 1999 with the handover of Macau, or the grant of sovereignty in East Timor in 2002, making it the longest global empire in history.
The British Empire is the most extensive empire in world history and for a time was the foremost global power. It was once referred to as the empire which the sun never sets because the empire spanned across the globe ensured that the sun was always shining on one of its numerous colonies.
By 1830s, Britain realized that it could make up the trade deficit with China by selling Indian opium into Chinese markets, making opium British most profitable and most important crop in world market. Eventually, opium poured into China faster than tea got into British hands. Soon, Chinese merchants already addicted themselves and buying for an addicted population paid the British opium traders 8-year service.
Opium was illegal in China, but that didn't stop the East India Company from manufacturing it for the black market. The emperor appointed an official named Jesuit to stop it. He seized and burned huge opium caches led by the British merchants and asked to leave the China Empire. Instead, they set up a base on a barren island that we know now as Hong Kong.
The rise of communism in several colonies allowed Britain the excuse of maintaining links and military involvement in places like Malaya and Borneo longer than had been anticipated. Military commitment was slowly wound down until 1968. The British declared that they would be withdrawing all the significant military commitment from the east of the Suez by 1971.
The British Empire was no longer a major player and held on to Hong Kong until 1997 when part of its lease was due to return to Chinese control. This handover marks the end of empire in Asia. British concepts of free trade, legal systems, and English language still play a fundamentally important role to many countries of this region up until today. The empire is not in Asia, but its aspects of legacy continue on.
The 19th century became a progressive period in history and it has since been recognized as the beginning of modernization. It was during this time that the Industrial Revolution began in England. Steam engines and machines were created in order to ease the work of the people. Also during this period that various liberal ideologies arose because of the problems that society was faced with. Sadly, it was only the rich people who were privileged enough to receive a good education. Dr. Jose Rizal was one of the few Filipinos who were lucky enough to study in Europe. Later, Dr. Jose Rizal was able to visit and stay in London, where he was able to study the writings of Antonio Morga on the Philippines. Because of his rich educational experience, Dr. Jose Rizal's eyes were opened and even more to the corruption and abuses taking place in the Philippines.